Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Or is it Pi Day? It's episode 314 of Digital Iliad. The game dev stream where he is always clicking the wrong scene transition card. To be fair, I was right back. How's it going? Hey, Rhiannon Journey. Hey, Mr. Magoo. Yeah, happy Pi Day. It didn't even occur to me until I was writing the title card today. I was like, oh, I should have something for this, but I don't. Let's try to carry on the irrationality of math. And maybe change the radio. This is a little too mournful. This music makes me feel like I'm already questioning myself. Let's chill out here. All right. Can't wait for Tau Day. We'll be there. Give us time. We'll get there. All right, so we're working on yet another rendering approach. This time, compute shaders. Make sure I can run the system regularly here. All right. So our regular method should still work. Is my hope. We'll see. Something's going on. Mosaic code is running. $27.67. All right, let's start the day off right with some bug fixes. Shaders, Rhiannon, you don't use them, but you're learning more about them. Between me and Diginanigans, yeah, I am. I'm taking the deep dive. Nanigans is doing something a little more reasonable, but we're taking the deep dive here. All right, we said 67. Yeah. Okay, we're calling into this. Input size, whatever. Oh, well, we can't just... If there's nothing here, we can't free it, I guess. Why are we always trying to free this thing? Buffer size stuff, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to just do that. And that might be enough for now. Nope. Okay, well that's fine. Attempted to free invalid ID 0. Okay. We're managing our own RIDs, so we have to worry about it. If output texture, clear output texture. This clearly isn't enough either. Oh, output texture is a thing. Output texture empty dot get data. That's not exactly what I'm talking about here. If input buffer size is 0, if output texture, clear output texture, and then do this stuff. Okay. Can I say just if compute buffer is not equal to RID This seems really stupid, but... Just trying to clear resources. Rhiannon, if you had a nickel for every streamer you watch, with Digi in their name, working on shaders, you'd have 2 nickels. It's not a lot, but it's weird that there's 2 of them. It's weird that there's, like, exactly 2 of us. All right, okay, no more errors. All right, so standard rendering is like we can just do our canvas items and we can just draw out our stuff. We are unhappy with canvas item rendering. It is slow. It is slow, and also it only uses the CPU. GPU is not being used at all. And that becomes very noticeable very quickly. We're getting good performance now. We're going to continue to get good performance. This is so fascinating. It has... There's something about... I can like trigger this on command, this like 1 millisecond. Man, if we could just get regular 1 millisecond rendering all the time, we don't really need to do compute shaders. But I can't replicate this like ever. I mean, I can replicate this here. I don't understand why bringing us back towards the middle, the render view just becomes like, the amount of time we spend rendering just becomes enormous. But when I go down here, it's like nothing. There's some kind of boundary thing that we're doing. Still, I think if we, you know, are doing the most, like we have this block is full up, and then we have like 3 more of these block things on each side. Like, I think we'll reach some kind of performance limit. What is this? See, now we're at 30 milliseconds. There's some kind of boundary thing here. Whatever. I don't know what's happening here. The thing that I care about is that the GPU is not pulling its weight. And we're going to correct that. My lights are too bright. I thought this would be, like, better. It's, like, too much. There we go. That's maybe okay. Hey, Nanigans, how's it going? All right. So I've kind of done up the compute shader, my first attempt at the compute shader. It's really simple. Really simple. But I think it's going to work for us and at least prove the concept. And now I'm just finishing up setting. And I've set up the GD script that runs all of it. And I think the last thing we have to set up is the part in our own code. The canvas item drawing system. We need to prepare data for that compute shader instead of what we're currently doing, which is preparing it for the canvas items. So we'll say something like, maybe like push, compute, buffer, update. Hey, Sapphire, how's it going? Hey, Nix, thanks for the hydrate. Nanigans, you're doing good. You're working on more texturing and shader stuff. Nice. Sounds good. Fingers crossed it runs perfectly the first time. Oh, it won't. It won't. I'm well aware. Compute shaders are really finicky to get running, which I think you know. All right, this lighting experiment was a failure in my opinion. That's better. We'll get there eventually. Do we take data? Yeah, we take whatever. No, we don't take any data. What we're gonna do. So at the very end. So here we can just use this. Actually, you know what we could do? Really just need this part. So we need a count. We need like a draw count. I don't think I need to declare it. Well, why not? So we'll just say for each draw. We'll say for each list. For each list and draw calls. Draw count. We can say if draw count. You're at home office tomorrow, Nix? Nice. And actually until next week's Thursday. Peter, your new cat arriving. That's so exciting. New cat. We're going to say if draw count is 0. And we just want to actually call game dot. Did I say remove or did I say clear? I think I said remove. Compute buffer data. And then we'll just return. Otherwise, we'll go through all this. We'll say draw count, and it's times the params count times the size of short. I use, oh, this needs to be an unsafe function. Nix, you spent 3 days working on your big project. Nice. Oh no, and then eventually you realize you were working on an old version of the project? That's horrifying. I've done that. I'll be like, well, I could merge all of this, and it's like, yeah, or I could just start over. Alright, so we're doing all of this. We want the span. So we need a... for variable I equals 0. Oh, hold on. Man, I stayed up way too late just working on these compute shader stuff again. I didn't even get that much done. So much for me of working on compute shaders is just reading stuff and thinking about it and being wrong about how it works. What do I want? It's not draws.length, it's draw calls dot length. Put this in this loop here. And we can just say if draw calls I dot length dot count is 0, we'll just continue. Otherwise, we'll do this whole thing. Although it can't be this. It can't be I equals 0. It has to be... We need a running count. Oh no, we have a draw count. Alright, right, so I need a running tally here. Call this total draw count. Here, we can have a draw index. That's what we'll do. At least you noticed it early. Yeah, true. Sorry, this might be a little bit of a distracted stream. I really want to get this. I really want to get stuff drawing. That's the starting point, because what we're doing here is we're doing it really inefficiently. We're just going to draw the whole thing. We're going to just draw everything sequentially in one invocation, which is the worst case scenario for the GPU. But I just want to get something drawn, and then we will reshape the work into something that makes more sense. And actually, I think there's a really strong possibility here that this canvas item drawing system just won't exist anymore. I mean, it won't, because we're not going to be doing canvas item drawing, but you know what I mean. I'm thinking a lot of the work that we do to create representations of the data that's only for the renderer, we do a lot of that here, and we do so much of it that this is on like a background thread that runs every like couple of frames. Like it takes a couple of frames to run. Introducing visual delay, which is like unacceptable to me. And because all of these rendering representations are only useful to the renderer, I think we're going to eventually push all of this down to the GPU. Don't get me started about flood filling either. I was talking to someone yesterday, and they were like, you could also flood fill on the GPU. And I'm like, I could flood fill on the GPU. And that would be excellent. That would be excellent. We're considering doing that. Although the flood fill could be slow. It's okay for the flood filling to be slow, but still, we could do it. Nick's on the good side. You've been waking up at 5 a.m. You get home from work by 5 p.m., so that's pretty cool. Having a couple hours for yourself to work on your mod. That's it. That's it. Yeah, having to add a commute to what can already be a really long day. I know that's how most people throughout history have worked, but man. It's like those are the few hours you had free, and now that you're spending them going to work. As Bill and Ted say, be excellent to each other. Oh yeah, that goes without saying even. Nix, you could also fill your GPU with flood water as well. Oh yeah, easy and cheap. But we just want to get them. We want to get everyone to be pulling their weight. Look, you know, just because the CPU can do everything doesn't mean that it should. Let the GPU play a little. And again, when you get to the simulation stage, you can implement some sort of nano decay weapon thing that does Conway's Game of Life on your blocks and calculate that all on the GPU. I could do that. That is what the gentleman who has a very helpful video and code about this already, which I feel like we should always be plugging, which is the Pathfinder's Codex. They're the ones who gave me not the idea, but they're the ones that are showing the execution of how to do this particular thing using texture 2D RD with compute shaders in Godot. It's like a way of having, nope, not gonna watch an ad. I want to go to his code though. We do need his code. All right, next. I see you. 3D over 2D? No, this is a 2D channel. 2D is everything. So yeah, they're doing a whole compute particle life thing, which I do kind of want to show. I just didn't want to have to watch an ad. Oh God, the ad I get is for ChatGPT. It's so crazy being on YouTube on an account I don't use for like watching anything. I have like a personal account for watching stuff, and it's crazy to see what YouTube shows you when you like don't have much of a watch history. Crazy. So they're doing this amazing thing that we want to do. Yeah, they're doing this particle life thing, which we don't need to do. This is amazing, but this is not what we're doing. We just want this part. We want this part that my head is blocking. We want a GPU to GPU only compute shader pipeline with no CPU readbacks. If we do flood filling, obviously we're going to have a CPU readback. I'm not gonna use an ad blocker, Nix. I'm an upstanding member of I have an account with AdSense. Is that how that YouTube works? I am not a crook. It's okay, Dave. We know you do all of your coding with ChatGPT. I could never. At least not with this. I admit I ask Gemini a lot of questions at my day job to at least get me started. Because Google search is already broken. I might as well have someone give me a little text excerpts with a little link that I can follow. Oh, yeah. I'm not reading chat when I look over here. I'm reading ChatGPT. That's the only chat I'm reading. All right, so the part that we are interested in, not the shader part, the GD script part. I think we're done with all of this. I was looking through this last night, and I looked through like their shader pipeline, how they set those up, the outputs, how they ran their compute calls on the render thread. I think all of this is okay. We're not doing necessarily everything they're doing. I don't know if we need to do a buffer swap, a frame buffer swap. They're not doing a frame buffer swap. Well, they are, but not for the rendering. They're doing for like the simulation data. So I'm a little curious about that. But what we need to do is we need to get our data out of the canvas item drawing system and into the compute buffer for processing. So that's what we're doing here. He says, remembering what we're doing here. Hey, Arnio. Can we talk about the sweater? No, it's almost like a cream sweater, and no one's really noticed the like important thing on the sweater. It's a little frog in cowboy boots. Felt like you got flashbanged when you open the screen. No, it's normal. I have 3 pairs of black sweatshirts that are actually the same exact make as this, so they just don't have a cute graphic. I don't think this is a very flattering color for me. I feel very washed out. But I love the little graphic. Yeah, there's boots with a frog in them. The frog is wearing a cowboy hat. Yeah, it's like a cream colored. Now we're going to be doing update compute buffer data. Don't worry, Dave. We're all washed out over here. Oh my god, Nix. Brutal. 4, 1, I guess I can just put this in here. Why am I counting the number of draw calls? Felt like I needed to do that somewhere. Oh, to be able to index through the param shorts, right? It's definitely not a constant. Why am I doing this in a for loop? Maybe because I want it to be bounded somehow. No, whatever. Actually, no, let's totally do it like this. It's going to be II plus draw index. Why not?
Maximum warp.
Maximum warp, no Joel. How's it going? Happy Tuesday. It's episode 314. It's our pie episode, which I didn't realize, or I would have brought pie for everybody. So sorry about that. Yeah, same. I also got a bit of a jump scare. Is this gonna maybe work? Will this probably be fine? Draws, fuck is draws? Oh, it's the span. Hey, Darnash. You were wondering how much of the development is already done for the game? By the way, it's okay to postpone that answer for that question in the future, as you'll keep watching the next month as well. We need a minimum warp sound. We do. No, it's a great question. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Because a lot of the work that you put into a game doesn't stay in the game. It is consumed by the game. It is spit up. No, it's chewed up and spit out. There you go. Yeah. Hey, Fox Shadow. That's so true. Yeah, so it's like I could tell you how much work I've put into the game. How much of it remains in the game? It's a hard question. And we're pretty much exclusively been working on tools, so we've hardly done any content. And so it's like, what do you consider the game? The underlying systems, the tools to build the game, or the content that you build with those tools? So the answer is not very. And all of this is just an apologia to the fact. About 5% of the game is done. Maybe next. That's maybe generous. But again, how do you count it? How do you count it? I don't know. Hey, thank you for the subprime, Fox Shadow. How have you been? How's work on your space game going? I don't know if you posted anything to YouTube lately. All right. Will this maybe work? I don't think so, but we're going to try it. Is there anything else I need to do except like swap this function out to at least make this attempt? Add canvas item draws. Run. Hack canvas item draw params. Okay, so we're doing this. So this is our like attempt to like not do it unnecessarily. You don't need to do any of this at the moment. Instead, what we're gonna do, we get to the very end and we'll say push to buffer update. Nanigans, it's about 1% done, but the 1% that is done will make the other 99% go 300% faster. Yeah, that. Something like that. Like a good example about that is like Butterscotch Shenanigans, who spent like 6 months making their tool for Crashlands 2. And it was like a tool to make it so that the non-programmers could add content to the game, because before it required a programmer to add content to the game. So they stopped development for 6 months to make this tool, essentially. But they said that they were able to make the whole rest of the game in like a year and a half instead of what it probably would have taken, which who knows how long. They probably couldn't have made the game otherwise. And it's hard to quantify that stuff until after you've done it. Darnesh, you're excited to see a room being built using the Room Maker Max Pro Builder tool and being used in the game? Oh, yeah, I'll just need to hit the Make Game button, and it'll just roll it out. It's going to be great. No, yeah, I'm glad. I appreciate it. Nix has us on the clock to finish the map editor by episode 512. Which I think we can do it. We better have done it by then. We better be on to other things by then. I would like to have a good chunk of the simulation running at that point, but we'll see. We'll see. Because it's tools first and then systems next, and we're still not even going to get to content for a while. But hopefully we can start working on content once we have a map editor. Even if the simulation's not done, we'll be thinking about maps and drawing out maps and stuff. It'll be fun. Fox, you released a catch-up video on your channel. You started being better at Patreon posts. Nice, nice. The flight system is at a state where you can start building the combat system. Oh, that's exciting. I'm excited to see that developed. That's really cool. Yeah, I think this crowd would really like your stuff, Fox Shadow. There's a lot of space game people here. Why can't I find your channel? I have it here in my list of subscribes. There it is. Yep. I'm gonna drop your channel in the chat. Post in the Discord. Oh, good. Yeah, this has been great to follow along. That's the wrong one. Oh my god, it is. No, this is the right channel, isn't it? Oh, you haven't posted anything for a year. I swear I looked for a second. You have a new channel? Oh, you do have a new channel. Oh, I gotta subscribe to this one. Is the other channel like dead? Check the live section. Oh, okay. Oh, wait, I'm super confused. Oh, no, you're live on... Oh, okay. Interesting structure. Walk me through this new this new channel purpose. Is this like, is this intended to be just the live streams? Oh, the other channel will stick to Sonic stuff. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, it's a space game, Arneo. I thought you especially would like that. Sorry, I'm kind of unfocused today, guys. I stayed up too late last night. I've been doing that a lot lately. I keep thinking I can make up for not having enough hours in the day by just taking hours away from the night. And it doesn't really work. It doesn't really work that way. All right, so we've swapped this function call out that is probably not going to work, but let's give it a go. Let's see the ways in which it fails. Errors, we're eating errors. Invalid call, non-existent function. Easy. What do we actually call the function? Update compute buffer data. What are we trying to call? Update compute buffer data. What? That sounds the same to me, but okay. Call update compute buffer data on the tile mosaic node. Did I lose the tile mosaic node somehow? No, you're right there. Oh no, you are the wrong. You aren't the right node. What even is this? Oh, that's the okay. You are the wrong node. You don't have that function available, actually. Why can't someone make release a game that will just complete your mod for you? Oh, I don't know. I think you'd have to do that. All right, update compute buffers and normals. All the shader bindings for the given set must be covered by the uniforms provided. Binding 1 set 0 was not provided. All right. This is the fun part. All right, so you're upset. I did move you around here. You used to not be here. Do you exist at this point? All the shader bindings for the given set must be covered by the uniforms provided. Am I not providing enough uniforms? 0, 1, 2. Append data buffer uniform. Append output texture uniform. Append output texture uniform. Oh, output texture uniform is in here twice. That's wrong. Are you upset about that? All right, 1 down, 1,000 to go. Oh, am I frozen? Wow, that was a bad hang up there for a second. I think we're back though. Error. VK success is true. Returning field. Okay. Oh, error. Not equals VK success is true. There you go. I was like, wait. All right. We're doing something it's not happy with. Fence? Wait. So there's some kind of fence. Is there a memory barrier, or are we getting stuck somewhere? What's going on here? I don't know what I'm looking to think I'm going to see here. So when we run the rendering, we go through all of this. If we do have... So if input buffer size is not 0... Oh, we also need to clear the output texture, though, anyway. Do that no matter what. And then the compute buffer becomes... we store the buffer again. We restore the buffer, then we call this, and we get all of our uniforms all set up. Do all of these things. Am I assigning this again? Why? Well, doing it twice is not a good idea. Compute list. Make a compute list. We bind a bunch of stuff. We dispatch. I think the shader's all set up okay. Does the shader have any errors? No. Okay. Setting up all our unicorns? Yeah, exactly. All right. Error not equal. VK success is true. Returning failed. So we're getting stuck. So we're having there's a failure possibly in the compute shader. What if we just not do anything? See if that's at least what's happening. I want to see if we're getting stuck in here. This is not going to be an easy thing to debug, probably. Okay, so yeah, so the actual call itself is failing. That's fine. Let's figure out why. Or not the call itself. The work we're doing in main is causing a failure of some kind. Let's see if we're at least able to read our input buffer. That would be a good start. That would be a good start on the road to success here. Okay, seems like we're able to read the buffer. So somewhere in here we're failing. Somewhere in our loop where we're actually draw params.regionsize.x. Okay, so for each thing in the buffer, sure. So here's what we do. We are sending all of the draw params packed together. Here it is an int data array. We packed it all in byte form. So we go through. Probably not. We probably don't need to do it that way. But we unpack our color. We grab everything else. So this all seems to be fine. And then here's the problem. So we want to go through the region. Well, here's the area of the problem. We want to go through the tile region, like the texture that we're trying to draw, like the little region of that texture that we're trying to draw. We want to go through that. We want to figure out where the color currently is at the input, or what the color from the input is. So can we read the input texture? We're just going to go section by section until we figure out what fails here. Okay, we can read the input texture. So there's something wrong with writing to the output texture, maybe. Hey, Dama, you seem like a cool dude. Would you like a Prime sub? As long as you spend your Prime sub, I don't mind where you spend it. I do have a day job. I appreciate it. Welcome into the channel. As long as you're taking the Bezos bucks away from Bezos and redistributing it to the people, you're doing good work. Thank you for beaming up. Appreciate it. Welcome to Digital Iliad. We're working on an FTL-like game. We're making a spaceship management game. Right now we're working in compute shaders, which are fun. Bezos, part B, part billionaire. All billionaire. That's tough. That didn't work as well as I thought it would. All right. So, are we able to load? the color from the output texture? I would presume so. If we can load the color from the input texture, we can probably load the color from the output texture. Yeah. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go. Can't create buffer of size 0. Error, -3. Okay, that's a good thing to know. Condition buffer.driver ID is true. Returning RID. Storage buffer supplied. Must provide one. Parameter uniform set is null. Uniforms are never supplied for set 0 at the time of drawing, which are required by the pipeline. I feel like I'm doing all of those things. Is there a case where we're not? It's not like there's any forks in the code. All right, 148, 159, 136, 137. So 159's down here. Complete uniform set. So there was a problem here adding the data buffer uniform for some reason. Are we always running this like every frame? That's not right. I don't think that's right. We don't need to do that. Although, no, I guess if the input data has changed, we do. Maybe it hasn't. No, we should be resending the input data every time. Well, I could see how that's causing a problem. But is it causing a problem all the time? No, it's not. Okay, that makes more sense. All right, well, now we have the very unhelpful no debug info for why our image store is failing. So our image store command stores back to this texture. Probably shouldn't. Well, stores back to this texture at this position with this color mix. And that just apparently never succeeds. Coherent uniform image 2D, RGBA8, output texture. Binding 0, binding 1, binding 2. Rice is cooking. Time to fire up the mushrooms. Nice, nice. Yeah, I made a bunch of coconut rice. I've been doing the like half of my meal is like I'll be making like I made too many veggies for this like mac and cheese we ate, and so I made like coconut rice to eat the rest of the veggies. But now I have a bunch of coconut rice and I don't have any more veggies. So I think tonight is going to be orange chicken and broccoli, and it's going to be good. And we'll see if we can equalize and actually run out of those things at the same time. Clear output texture might be causing us some trouble here. Not really, though, because all we do for clearing the output texture is update the rendering device texture with the data of the empty image. So we basically like clear. That's like our clearing the output texture. There's some kind of barrier that we're like blowing through or something. All right, Gemini is ingesting this error. Yeah, I was right. It is a synchronization error. There's some kind of memory barrier or something. You were supposed to bring balance to the leftovers. Yeah, exactly. That's so funny. You've been eating so much rice lately. Rice veggie seesaw. Yeah. I've had your rice cooker for like 6 months now. It's completely changed meal planning. Oh, your rice cookers are good. My partner got one. They use it all the time. All right. All right. So... I wonder what I'm doing differently than our friend here. Pathfinder's Codex. So we don't have to do this submit and sync thing because we're running on the render thread. But we're doing something. We're doing something rough. You heard your name mentioned, tried to look it back up, couldn't. Now you missed out on mac and cheese talk. I mean, I'm always down to talk about mac and cheese. No, the mac and cheese I made threw out my synchronization with my food. So I ended up having too many leftover veggies. And I had to make coconut rice to deal with the veggies, and now I have all this coconut rice. I'll be eating that with stuff tonight, and it'll be good. We're trying to restore balance to the leftovers. I mean, we are doing a lot of work here, but also we're doing like no work. I wonder why we... I wonder why we're timing out like this. Why we're missing. The system is waiting on us in a weird way. Fascinating that this person wrote this as one compute shader with 2 modes, and it runs in sim and then draw, alternating. Fascinating. Interesting way to get around some stuff. Yeah, I don't know. This is one of those, this is gonna be a tough one. I mean, I don't think just like a simple writing outside of bounds thing would do it for us. Although, that could totally happen. And, is something we probably need to stop. Although we are loading from the output texture just fine. But writing out to the texture is the problem. But there is a thing here that we need to consider, which is... relating the position of things to screen space, which we aren't doing. That's actually something we need to do. Not screen space, but like texture space. because canvas item still has its like origin in the center and it can draw out from there, but this has its origin in the upper left, and we need to consider where the view is. We'll pretend like the camera doesn't move right now. Nick's the only veggie in mac and cheese should be cheese. That's a hot take. What you can also never have too much of in mac and cheese is like pepper, like ground pepper, black pepper. So good. No, Joel, in principle, you're working on a compute shader 2 right now, but you use regular shaders and encode the data in RGB so you can use it in Web 2. Ooh, that's clever. That is clever. You're willing to consider macaroni to also be a veggie. That's very grand of you. All right, we're heading back in here. We're heading into ads here. Hold on to your ads, people. All right. So we're disrespecting this compute shader in some way when we try to do our image store function. I think we must have like just a totally bogus output position we're trying to write to or something, which I feel like could totally cause an error. So we need to get these positions into the screen's like texture space. It shouldn't be that hard. We just need to do it. We'll eventually need to get the camera involved in this too, but we won't do it right now. What we're gonna do right now is, so we got this canvas rect deal, we've got the source rect. So the canvas rect X and Y we need to modify. And for right now, can we just modify it in this function? And by this function, I mean this function. So we should be able to just say this plus, well, we could hard code it for now. So otherwise, I think we're trying to write to like negative numbers. Okay, something new happened. That's good. Oh, we're getting more debug stuff here, are we? Printing last known breadcrumbs in reverse order. Last executed first. Some of them might be inaccurate. Try running with accurate breadcrumbs. Okay. Sent up to ID 18. Last breadcrumb ID found 12. Last known breadcrumb blit pass, UI pass, UI pass, blit pass, UI pass, UI pass. I don't know how to read this. This is going to be rough. This is going to be rough to debug. Oh, this is totally... Did I not alter the data here to the shape that we actually need? I've been sending like junk data. So we don't send any of this. We send... What do we send? Well, I'm an idiot. I didn't reshape the data. So we send the color modulate, the input position, the output position, the region size, and the texture ID. That's the order we send this stuff in. Looks like it. All right. So how are we going to pack in? For one thing, we got to pack in this color data. It's gonna be hard to do in short form. You know what we'll do right now? We're just going to ignore that part. We'll just send over a modulate of 1. What are we even going to do for that part? Yeah, maybe we just don't read it for now. I have to remember how I'm supposed to pack that data anyway. But it's okay. We don't actually use it right now. Yeah, we do. We'll just not do this part first. I don't want to think about that right now. So I'm not gonna, it's not gonna get encoded into, oh, also we're not gonna be encoding things in shorts anyway. What am I sending over? Yeah, I know the shader's broken. I forgot we have to do this totally differently. Should I just be sending a packed into in 32? I feel like that's the way to do this. Is there a reason it should be a packed byte array? I mean, it would be better. It'd be more efficient. I mean, I can process that, I guess. I could send it over in... Well, I don't know if I can actually send it over in byte form. It'd be like a unorm, right? No, not a unorm. It'd be like a uint. Yeah, it's going to be 32-bit anyway, so I might as well just send it over in 32-bit. That simplifies my problem, I think. Swap this over to that then. Although I have to send it over as a byte array, don't I, to the when I send it to the GPU. So maybe that is the correct thing to do. Yeah, it has to be sent over as a byte array, right? I don't do it because... here, let's go to the docs. To the docs. Yeah. So when you do a storage buffer create, you do it in byte form based on the size of the bytes. Fine. We could still send it over in 32 form. And then we'll just have it 2 byte array. That should be fine. So we'll store it here in byte, but we'll pack it. That's fine. It needs to be copied anyway. Clear. Hey, Jacob. What up? Size does matter. Eventually we'll figure out a better way of sending the data over. We're actually going to send the data over totally differently. I really want to do a bunch of the canvas item draw system stuff in a compute shader. The only thing that would be really shitty to do it would be the final sort. You know what would also be maybe shitty? Maybe the auto tiling would be shitty to express that way. I don't know. I kind of want to do it, but I'm not going to do it to start. We have more pressing problems here. How's it going? All right, we're deep in the compute shader. Debugging obscure, very cryptic bug error messages. The only size that matters is RAM and VRAM. That is true. At our level, that is all we care about. We don't care about cache lines and you have to go. All right, take it easy, Sapphire. It's good to see you. All right, so we're sending packed in 32 array. That's good. And then so over here, instead of this stupid convert thing we were doing, we don't have to do that anymore. So what we can do here is, so the color is the thing that's going to be kind of annoying. But we said we were going to just punt on that for now. We say convert.to byte. I need to pack these all together, which I need to do I need to do a bunch of bit shifting to like put all of these in the same spot. I'm going to do that later. We're just going to send over the number 1. And this will actually go last. So we'll say is 1 the right thing to send over? I think so. We'll see. We're not using it right now, so it'll be fine. What we do need to send this canvas rect thing over, but we're not going to convert it. We're just going to send it over like this. So why am I creating this as a byte array then? Oh, so I could send it over in byte form, but now I'm not going to do that. This is kind of dumb. So instead, we'll just say an int. We still want this fixed part. We'll say draw params. We don't need a short or a span. We do kind of need this though. So canvas rect Z and source rect Z and RNW are identical, so I don't really care which one we do. So we'll just do the source one. We do need texture draw though, or the texture ID. Heck yeah, is most of it there? Just trying to find it. It's all there. It's all assembled. We're fighting between the compute shader code itself, the GLSL code, the GD script that like handles all of its dispatches and all of the like setup stuff, and our canvas item drawing system, which is kind of collecting together the data that's needed for it. So none of this times unsafe size of short or the param count. It's not the param count anymore. Now it's now it's 8. Can you quick explain what the compute shader is trying to do? Is it for like building the texture? Yes, it's going to be for drawing out our tile data. Like Instead of what we're currently doing, which is we're drawing to these different canvas items, we're going to be drawing directly to these output textures that are hooked up to texture rects. I don't know quite how many of them we're going to hook up. We're starting with just one, which is not very good. But yeah, the compute shader is pretty simple right now. It's even simpler now that I've commented some of it out. But it's just going to pull... It's going to go through... right now, it's literally just going to go through every draw call. Fine. And then for each of the little textures that we're trying to blit over or whatever, or draw over, it's going to just go through all of those pixels, load them, mix them, and then mix it with the output and post the output. But right now, the image store... We're running into some kind of error, and I think it's because the data is not shaped correctly that we're sending over, because we made no effort to change it. So we're trying out some different stuff. This should be able to take an int 32. It's a whole mess right now. We're just trying to get something going, and we'll find it later. So now we're sending the packed integer 32 data. It's coming through as a byte array. And then in the GLSL, we actually unpack that data. Plus 1. So this is wrong. This I times 8 plus... Oh no, it comes back in as an int array, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, this is correct. The only thing we're not doing is unpacking the color, because I don't know how to pack the color. You submitted your long-term project, Fabled Footy, to the Solo Marathon Jam yesterday. You can't stop refreshing the page for reviews. Oh, awesome. Congrats. Yeah, the Marathon's Jam seems like a fun thing to do. I'll just check that out. Feel free to drop a link. I mean, I can't add a review because I didn't do the jam, but... All right. So are we going to try to run this and see what we get? I'm going to run it in Writer. Writer seemed to give us better error reporting. Not more useful, just more. Oh. Okay, well, we actually crashed. That's good, I guess. Am I setting this up incorrectly? AI plus draw. Oh, the time 16 is that's jank. Yeah, that would definitely fail. Okay, we're doing something. No compute pipeline is set before attempting to draw. I have a hard time believing that, but okay. Did we not send any data over? Like, what's going on? Yeah, it was private before this. It's been interesting to see what people think of it. You need to revamp onboarding again. No problem. I want to check this out. Definitely post in the Discord if you like. Oh yeah, this was your like soccer tactics game. Yeah, this is cool. I want to play this. I definitely want to play this. There was just some article, I didn't read it, but there was something about like the original creator of Blood Bowl coming back to GW to like make something new, and I was like, oh. Okay, what did we have here? So here we just have the same error, maybe. Let me see. Did we get a new error, or is it the same error? No, so it's... Yeah, okay. There are errors. Can't create a shader from an errored bytecode. Check errors in source bytecode. Oh, is the shader not compiling? That would explain it. Put color mix on declare. Oh, I commented some stuff out, but not enough. Just mix the raw colors together. Okay, well that's good. Okay, no errors. No visible behavior, but Vulcan isn't like yelling at us, which is nice. Praise be, mighty Vulcan. And his beautiful wife Venus. Praise be to the mighty god of the hammer and the volcano. God of engineers. Hephaestus. Gesundheit. Uh-oh, it's gonna be soccer, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I want to play this. I really liked your presentation. I don't have time to play it right now, but I really like just to look at the I really liked your setup of the stage. And you can't see it here, but some of the stuff you were doing with stuff coming down from the top of the stage. I really like this presentation. It looks so good. I love leaning into like the cardboard cutout nature of it all. It's such a good choice. I considered making my game turn-based. I didn't do it. I have a written justification for it, but oh man, that looks so good. The mix of the 3D and the 2D is really snappy. You use Blockbench for this? We talked about it, I think, right? For the 3D parts. That came out. It was submitted as part of the Solo Development Jam number 5, so it's playable. Is the build a Windows build? Okay, sick. Yeah, I might play that. I'll be curious to see how this performs on the web, but I'd also be down to have like the full experience. Oh, I love this little treasure goblin here. This is good stuff. Web's a little jank. It always is. It always is. Gesundheit and soccer. Are we turning German? No, I just think Hephaestus sounds like, when you say Hephaestus, which is like Vulcan's Greek name, it sounds like you're sneezing. You think the scale of the project's a little big for web? Yeah, I would believe it. I would believe it. Luckily, I'm not tempted to do anything for web with this game now that I'm gone down the compute shader route. Okay, so questions. We're not getting any errors. I'll just validate that running it here. No errors, no visible behavior. And you know what? I can live with that. We're not doing our cleanup correctly, which is fine. We'll figure that out. Okay, errors on cleanup. I can also live with that. But we're also not getting any visible behavior, which is a little concerning. My blending could maybe be bad. Image load, input texture, current input position. Drop params, input position dot x plus x. All of this input data we're getting in should be totally great and totally fine. Let me just make sure I'm sending it in the right order. The input position, the output position, and then the texture size. Is that the order I'm packing this stuff in? Dave sneezes in Vulkan. All right, so canvas rect. This should be where on the canvas to render it. I'm putting in an offset right now so that we're to hopefully make it so that we're counting from the upper left corner, which I think is what the system is expecting. So that when we get a negative number, it like brings it to the correct position. I guess I should just make sure that we're actually like writing out to the thing in a way that we can actually see something. Maybe I like just maybe we do something else for the moment. Maybe we do some kind of test. I don't know. I have to figure out if we're drawing in such a way that we can see it at all. That's my question. So what would be the best thing to do? What if we just draw straight to the... What if we just do something stupid as a test? And we like just draw straight to the output texture, like a solid color or something. So that's what I think is, what I think is we're not actually drawing anything. Or we're drawing to the texture and the texture is not being displayed. Kind of what I'm thinking. Shenanigans. The football, the fabled footy game looks good. You're attempting to do a couple of similar things with how you're combining your tiles and sprites. Hell yeah. I don't think you're going for as much of a fourth wall breaking presentation though. But you could. Okay, so we're gonna go X is 0. We're just gonna hard code this thing. Maybe we should be a little safer than that. Should I get its size? I probably should, but you know what? I'm not going to because this is just a test. This is only a test. What am I? Also, what am I doing? 640. 360. You have Crocodile on your list of things to try out? I've heard of Crocodile. It comes up every once in a while. Crocodile looks cool. Oh, flashbang. Is Dark Reader not on? It is. It still looks like this. Yeah, Crocodile looks cool. for a weird variety of things being done here. Very cool. Hope everyone's having a good day today. Got about an hour before I've got a meeting that I have to get to. We're chilling. I'm out of coffee. Or what I should say is the coffee that I have is, I think, now room temperature. Time to switch to water. All right, we're just gonna store a color. Oh, we gotta do this outside of the loop. All right. Sanity check. We're just gonna write a solid color to the image store. And if we don't, beware of, well, I guess it won't flashbang. Okay, so yeah, we just don't see the result of what we're doing. Easy. All right. Next problem. Next, you have to wake up in 7 hours for work. You're not even close to being done with your weeklies in Fallout 76. Oh no. No, Joel, you put out a free shader out today. You saw some VFX artists put some on Godot shaders. You thought you could put some of your small shaders on there too. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'd be glad to try your VFX sometime. There will be a situation where I'll be like, I need this. Okay, so what I have is a texture here, a mosaic. You have a texture that should be getting assigned to. It's maybe not being assigned. Let's validate that we're assigning. Let's go into the remote tree. Grab this. Compute buffer. Invalid RID. Fascinating. That's actually what we should expect, I guess, if we don't have any data. Whoa. Hey. Oh, interesting. Sorry for the flashbang. I asked it to print out solid white. I probably should have done solid black. Sorry. Let me fix that. We're doing something. It's kind of interesting. It's only doing it when I'm in positive block space. So when we start, our origin is matched up with the origin of the world, which means everything out here is all negative block space. And we don't really, our system doesn't really work in negative block space yet. Which makes you wonder why I position the camera this way by default. But once we're in here, it looks like the render thing takes over. It looks like the UI is correctly above it. Okay. So we're doing something. It's progress. It's something. When you're working with shaders, honestly, just understanding where you are in the process, I feel like is a minor victory. It's like, where's the problem? What's happening? Why not doing this mix might be causing some kind of problem. Current input position, IVEC2 draw params dot input position dot x plus x. Yeah, draw params input position dot y plus y. Sure. Input color raw, image load, input texture, current input position. Sure. Okay, that's all good. Output position. Yeah. Well. Something is better than nothing. It can be. Okay, so we know the texture is kicking in, but it's not rendering anything. Which means we're maybe writing out of bounds, because we're not actually converting it into the texture space correctly. That could be possible. A number of things could be happening here. Oh my god, next. Shenanigans. Yeah, last night you had to sanity check your stuff by rewriting your logic in JavaScript so you could actually check the values you were creating under the stack. Yeah, I hope I don't do that. So is there something, firstly, is there something weird? Like, where are you? You're everywhere, huh? All right, where do we want to start? Be cool if there was a shader debugger that essentially runs the shader on the CPU one at a time instead of in parallel as you step through. Yeah, there are some, I was looking at it, there's some GLSL IDEs that can run like totally on their own. I would just need to like set up all the inputs and stuff. I didn't think I wanted to do that at the time, but I'm beginning to think that I might if it lets me like actually debug what's going on. Yeah. No, I'm tempted. I'm tempted to try running some of these in an IDE that actually handles the GLSL by itself, and I could basically test it in a sandbox just to see if I'm rendering kind of what I think I'm rendering. It would be a pain in the butt to set up all the input data, which is why I'm tempted not to do it. But I could set up test data, at least. Just write my own. Yeah, all right. Next time on Digital Iliad, we're making a GLSL IDE. There's some GLSL plugins for Rider, but they don't seem very good. And Godot itself cannot. It will tell you the results of attempting to compile the shader, but it does not let you do the editing here, which is a little sad. All right, so we know that we're writing to the thing. I wonder where the problem is. Here, we're gonna try something. We're gonna say, well, no, we have this data. Well, let's do our own color stuff. Let's check the color first. Make sure that the color is not the problem, the part of the input texture we're sampling. Oh, hey, we are rendering something. Okay, so we are rendering something. Okie dokie. That's approximately the correct regions. They're not in the correct spot, obviously. Okay, interesting. Interesting. All right, all right. We're getting some traction. That's the hardest part when you're doing these kinds of debug things. If there is no traction, like if you are getting no feedback from the changes that you're making, that can be such a death sentence to progress. or motivation to even just continue. That's what makes me, that's the main thing that makes me nervous about doing this compute shader stuff, is just how opaque bugs are. Rhiannon, I gotta make tools to make my own tools. That's true. That would be the moral and ethical thing for me to do. And Nix, you're frankly shocked that Dave suggested to download something instead of making it from scratch. I know. Hey, I stopped myself from recreating a sprite in our game, so I'm learning. I'm learning a little. All right, rendering with compute shaders is always fun. So what it looks like our output coordinates look a lot like our input coordinates, if I'm being honest. From looking at it, it looks a lot like our output positions correspond to our input texture. Like, where's the default? This is what I've pumped in just for debugging purposes. And where it's literally drawing the X face, the Y face, and the Z face with like that exact positioning too. It's going like upper left corner and then a bit down and then a bit down again. And that's exactly where we're drawing here when you look at this. So something is getting cross-wired here. Input, output. Did I honestly just mix things up? Canvasrect.x. I thought canvasrect was the internal. Maybe I don't know what any of this means. Canvasrect, modulation, source rect. No, the source is supposed to be where in the internal texture. The canvasrect is supposed to be the output. So what's going on with that? I guess I have to validate this data we're packing in here. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, so when we encode this stuff, it probably makes sense long term to set up a shader IDE if this becomes the core renderer for the game. Yeah, and we're gonna do more than just rendering. I don't know. The problem that's like telling me I need to do like more unit testing, because the problem is that it's hard. I have a hard time believing that I'd be able to test a shader IDE effectively like that way, just because I would need to generate so much data, like intermediate data from our simulation system to even be able to operate on, and I don't want to do that somewhere else. I mean, I could make test data, but I'd have to do that, and it would only cover the kind of data I submitted as test data. This is why I believe that testing the full integration is the best thing that you can do for a game. Just because of how weird game data and game state can get. It can be so hard to test in isolation. Just build a shader IDE into the game. Okay, all right. That's a good point. That's a good point. Shenanigans, you'll add a bit of asprightedness to your game for painting on extra texture detail. I'm so tempted to let people draw faces in the editor directly. I'm so tempted to add something like that. But I'm not going to. Because I don't want to have to make asprite in my game. That said, we might do it eventually. But we're not going to do it now. All right, so when I build out this canvas item draw param, we get the canvas rect, we build it. It's XYZW. Its X is its hull key times 16 minus hull key.y times 16 plus format comp.offset.x. Format comp.offset.x. Do I maybe have the wrong idea of what format comp.offset means? Am I accidentally putting like the input texture offset in for the output texture somehow? I have a hard time believing that because I feel like the canvas item drawing version of this would be broken if that was the case. offset. I'm willing to entertain. So we got the length, the counts, the offset, the origin, the region. Origin should be the texture part, I think. Maybe? And then offset, that's the offset of the block position. So that's the, so if the block position is in the center, these offsets is the distance to the upper left coordinate of the texture. That's what offset is here, I'm pretty sure. I could like triple check if I checked the JSON file. Offset 0 minus 8. Offset -16 minus 8. This origin is being used, I feel. I feel it in my bones that this origin vector is being used somewhere that's somehow telling the system that it should be drawn with this offset. It's like way too much of a coincidence. We have a strict deadline of episode 512. We can do a sprite after. Good point, X. Shenanigans, you've got world space noise masked grid overlays on your tiles now, just tweaking the intensity of the grid and then going to add in the logic to make the grid more intense when your cursor is near it. Oh, I like that. I love that. That'll be slick. I might do something like that, honestly. All right. Okay, so that's what we got. And we know we're pretty confident. So we're going buffer, counts, offset, then origin. Okay. And then when we build this, so the offset is in world position or in canvas position. Origin is the input texture. And then so when we're down here and we're actually doing the thing, we say the canvas rect is the whole key minus that offset, yeah, or plus the offset. Whole key.x. If whole key.xy is 0, none of this makes any sense. Which is good. Modulation, source rect, format comp origin x plus atlas coords.x times format comp.region x. Should there be a... No. No parentheses. It's the atlas coords times the region. Okay, that looks correct. And then so when we get down here and we're like converting it, packing it in. Have I mixed these up? Is it supposed to be it's supposed to be input output region, and I wrote it as output input region. Oh my god, Dave. Dave's not here. Input position, output position. It's written right here. Unhappy. Well, that explains that to an extent. Now what do we get?
Most illogical.
Truly. Okay, well now we're like rendering off screen. Okay, what if I don't care about this? This is like free RID problems. Should it be half of this? Should it be like plus 320? I'm doing plus the whole width. It should be half, huh? 320 plus 180. So right now the origin is in the center and it needs to be in the top left. Hey! Hey! We got something. We got something following the cursor. What happens when I move the camera? Oh my god, it continues to follow the cursor. It has a very narrow range where it wants to be for some reason, but that's okay. I can live with this. I don't understand this part, but that's fine. I can live with it. We got something. All right, now let's see if the input is actually going to be correct. Game is ready. Yeah, let's hit it. Let's publish that ship. Let's build it. Let's ship it. Let's hit that publish button on Steam. We're ready to go. When's next fest? All right. All right. Okay. Yeah. Every inch you get working with compute shaders feels like a yard. It is. You fight for every little bit of progress. All right. So now we're going to mix the color. We're going to start mixing the colors again. Oh, we're not going to do this part though. We're going to, right now, we're going to just use the output color. So we're not going to use the modulate yet, but that's fine. The modulate is a special case. Get your mind out of the gutter, Nix. All right, we're still getting this, which is curious. Okay, well, unfortunately, now we're still getting white. Is this not... Does this not rebuild? Like... Do I need to rebuild it in here? Oh, my lord. I might need to do that. Oh, hey... Okay, so if I change the GLSL file, I have to bring up the Unity engine. Not the Unity engine, oh my god. Take me out back. I've betrayed the confidence of the community by bringing up Unity. I'm done. We're cooked, chat. All right. Well, we're doing it. We're doing the thing. We're rendering 3 different tiles together under the cursor. There's some weird stuff happening like down here, but I don't understand why.
It's dead, Jim.
There's some relationship between... Oh, because we're not considering the camera. Duh. We would need to start considering the camera for that to behave correctly. Can I draw stuff? Oh my glob. Hell yes. Why are these colors wrong? This is super wrong. These should not be the same. Oh, I guess they are. I guess I made them the same. I don't like that. All right, let's put back the right texture. Just so it looks better. What does the profiler look like? I know, Rhiannon. 1 second. Now is when you profile it and you find out you're maxing out the GPU and CPU. Yeah, no kidding. We're gonna hide the tile mosaic so that we don't get any interference. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna replace this input texture for a better one. We'll do the outer hull block. Wait, I made an image for this, huh? So we import these as texture 2Ds. I don't know what the difference is between importing it as a texture 2D versus importing it as an image. I'm gonna do this. Okay. This is gonna break some stuff. Can I not even see the data anymore? Or see what that looks like anymore? The heck is going on here? Okay, I can't even see it anymore. Why can't I see that? Well, that probably broke something, but that's fine. You stop what you're doing, waiting for the profiler. Call type outer block. Oh my god. Okay. I told you it was going to break something. Alright, I regret everything. I'm going to re-import this as a texture 2D. Then we're going to copy it. We're going to make a duplication. Hold on to your horses. I haven't figured out how this stuff works yet. So this is an image. This is a PNG. Well, they're both PNGs, but this is a texture 2D. This one is supposed to be an image. This one's supposed to be a texture. I haven't wanted to mess with this part yet, so we're just trying to make it work here. And I put this here. And now everyone's happy. Is everyone happy? Hey! Alright. Alright, how big a... Alright, this isn't the best test, but we're gonna do it anyway. Oh, we're also got errors. Tile set Atlas source. Atlas has no tile at. Who the heck is doing this? Alright. Someone is upset. Oh man, re-importing that file was like a huge mistake. It like broke a bunch of stuff. I probably broke a bunch of the tile sets, which we don't use, but which do exist. Yeah, we broke everything. Cool. Let me get this texture back here. All right, I think if I just reconnect it, it'll be okay. Yeah, I just need to reconnect the reference. Whoa, not what I wanted to do. I want to put this file in here. There we go. I know, I'm driving everyone crazy by not showing the profiler right now. Turns out there was a good reason that Godot warned me about doing what I did. All right, I fixed it. So here we go. Sort of a performance test. Rough performance test here. Rendering test. Before this was maxing out the CPU and the GPU wasn't participating at all. Oh my god, rendering is free. The thing that's slow right now is the canvas item drawing system, which is taking multiple frames to run, which is why you can see these weird kind of glitchy desyncs, which is kind of cool actually. But yeah, this is basically free. Rendering is now free. Huzzah. The GPU data is starting to stream through. You can't see it because it's behind me now, but here it comes. You see that? It's right over my right shoulder. The hang-up is not here. The hang-up is in a background process that's running on the simulation side. So don't worry about that. We're going to put all that stuff on the GPU. Yeah, the GPU is almost unnoticeable. What it's doing right now. It's less than 1/10 of a millisecond for the GPU to handle this. Even under the worst case scenario of one invocation on a single warp front. or whatever you want to call it, wavefront. Amazing. We're dropping frames, though, for some reason. Oh, you know what? You know what is being used to run the stream? My GPU. You know whose efforts are being redirected to rendering? My GPU. I need to figure that out, maybe. I'm using so little of the GPU, but it seems to be interfering with OBS. It's too bad. Close this thing. But hey, yeah, rendering is free now. Interesting that this you're getting a lot of buffering also. Oh wait, no, I'm still skipping frames due to encoding lag. Yeah, I totally blew out my encoder with this. Yeah, the compute shader's messing with OBS. It's definitely doing that. Let me close Godot. See if that helps. It says I've got 60 FPS, but we are skipping frames due to encoding lag. It's not rendering, it's encoding. So for some reason, the encoder, which as I understand it, has its own dedicated part of the GPU. I might need a separate stream PC, chat. I might need a separate streaming PC. Yeah, OBS is totally been messed up. We might have to end the stream. But we rendered for free. We just also totally broke OBS with the compute shader somehow. I am transferring buffer data to and from the GPU, and it probably is a bottleneck. I guess this is a problem that I'd want to fix because I definitely want people to be able to play this that are also streaming. What doesn't make sense to me now, and why I think this is an error, is it's still happening. I'm not running the game anymore, but OBS is just totally hosed. This is unfortunate. Yeah, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain. As long as you can hear me. I mean, I could maybe use my CPU for streaming, but I really need to figure out what's going on here. I don't know how to debug this without being live. And I feel like the fact that it's still happening, even though I've closed Godot and I'm not running anything, is a little concerning. It's fine again? Have we finally returned to something like normal? Okay, we did. Okay. All right, we got back to normal. Well, we dropped about 16,000 frames. Yeah, a background process or something could be running. Well, that's concerning. You know what I'm doing every frame that I probably don't need to do? All of this stuff. We have a very inefficient process. But I am concerned that I'm somehow interfering with the encoder. This should be trivial to do what I'm doing. Where do I even want to look this up? I don't even know. There's nothing to look up right now. Stream was good after I closed it for you. Yeah, I'm just watching OBS, and OBS took a while to recover. But we're back now, it looks like. I don't know. The YouTube studio seems a little upset still, but the video's back. Okay, Nanigans confirmed. Well, we ran our compute shader, and it performed really well. But yeah, I think we might be bottlenecking it somehow by send. Well, we're doing some work every frame to update the buffer. We need to do that way less often. I think we need to change where the division of labor is. Like, I think what we're doing here in the canvas item system, I think most of this wants to be on the GPU rather than doing all of the rendering stuff here. Because this is the slow part. It's not the part breaking OBS, but the slow part is trying to do all of the rendering prep work here in this system, in the canvas item drawing system. If we could send over the simulation data, and that's all we sent over, and everything else was calculated on the GPU, maybe we could see something better. You're guessing what happened is that you didn't limit it, like the FPS or the process amount it can eat up? Yeah, but it wasn't displaying that it was doing anything. I think NoJule's right, and it's something about the amount of like buffers we're pushing to the GPU, so that the amount of time it's spent in execution is minimal. But the problem is we're like eating up its memory bandwidth. How often do you run the compute shader? Only every frame. No, it's written as inefficiently as possible just to get off the ground. I think it is a memory thing. I think it's because I'm pushing the input buffer data back all the time. Although the buffer data is really small, so I don't know. I don't know how to test this without breaking the stream again. I mean, we only have so long left in the stream, so I probably will try. I just want to think about what I want to try first. Let's see if there's some kind of thing we can do to limit it somehow. Well, let's see. So let's see if it happens when I'm only doing one block. So if I've only got one block going, what's happening? Are we dropping anything? No, the encoder's fine. So yeah, I think the problem was that the input data ballooned. And it's being sent over every frame, so I think we just wrecked our memory pipeline. I think I can do reasonable stuff without messing anything up. We're still encoding just fine. Stream seems fine. Yeah, it does. It does seem fine. I think once I start filling this in, it's bad. I'm gonna see my dream scenario is actually just that we send over the block data, like all of the block data, and the system just does the rest itself. Because the block data is pretty stable. I don't know. I would need to write a bunch more shaders. Shader stages and stuff. But I think we could, if we can get a handle on the amount of data we're passing over every frame, I think we're in good shape. Because yeah, I want performance of this game to be very low key. So if I'm making it hard for somebody to stream and play the game at the same time, that is not good. Hey Marticus, how's it going? Welcome in. You caught us kind of at the tail end of things, but we're rendering using compute shader. This is all being rendered on a compute shader. Isn't that fun? I think it's fun. How are you doing? All right, so we know our system works. It's just a question of working better. You're doing good. The game is trotting along slowly, but surely. Yeah, people would flame you if you couldn't play a 2D game and stream it. No, for real. That's actually one of my favorite things about Godot, like, compared to Unity, because Unity loved to crash, and when Unity crashed, so many things could go wrong, up to and including your computer freezing. But Godot is so good. I've never had Godot like actually crash my system during an error. I mean, never say never. I'm sure it's gonna happen. But yeah, I don't actually want to have to manage the stream with the second PC, especially in this economy. Nanigans, we do what we must because we can, for the good of all of us, except the frames that hath dropped. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what's, you know. I'm also afraid that if I take it too far, I'm not going to recover the stream very quickly. Oh. There we go. Oh, I reached the edge of the rendering thing. So that doesn't move? It doesn't. That's just the edge. All right, I'm dropping frames again, huh? I see it. I see it. We're dropping frames. All right, we're gonna close this. Turn this off. Turn this off. I'm gonna bring up the task manager. See if there's any background tasks. Yeah, now we're just dropping frames. It takes a while to recover from this state. I don't see any background processes that would cause this. Yeah, no, I know. I can see. I don't get any indication from my performance profiler of any kind why this is happening. I don't see anything Godot related running. Yeah, I just like have hosed the GPU somehow. It's possible we have like a memory leak or something too. That's like absolutely frying the GPU. Gotta run to the dentist? No worries. Just run Godot in a VM. Godot hasn't crashed on you either, Marticus? Nice. Yeah. All right, are we done dropping frames? Okay, looks like we've recovered again. Can you keep the buffer and just update the new change block data? Maybe. I have to look at it. I have to look at the amount of data that we need to send. I have to look to see if we can put it in a UBO or it's got to be in an SSBO. I've got to look at how little I want the system to start with the smallest little kernel of data that we can update as non-frequently as possible, and then have the CPU take as much of the processing as possible. Because right now we're maximizing for we're sending over a ton of work that we prepared, so I think we're thrashing our memory bandwidth. Oof. Oh well. What time is it? 1:46. Yeah, we'll figure something out. But hey, we're drawing with compute traders, which I honestly didn't think we were gonna do today. We're doing it. We're doing it too much, arguably. But yeah. I'll have to do some research. This is probably something that's happened to people before. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here shortly. I got a meeting soon. I would like to eat a snack for before that, I think. I have an early meeting today, so I can't stick around as long as I normally would. I also thought I was just going to be absolutely wiped out by the compute shader stuff, considering how late I stayed up last night working on it. And I really didn't think we were going to actually make it work today, but we did. Performance was too bad and now it's too good. Yeah, exactly. It's a good problem to have. We'll figure out the memory thing. I'll do all the obligatory steps of like updating my graphics driver and stuff. I'm tempted to switch from the game ready drivers to the more stable drivers. The creator, whatever drivers. Good luck. Thanks, Marticus. Appreciate that. What happened, Pretzel? Pretzel has given up on us. Play me out. Didn't we just listen to this? Yeah, we did. Okay, the radio is busted. Busted. Okay, he really doesn't want to play another song. Why has everything got a break today? It really doesn't want to play another song. That's so funny. Even when I pick a different radio station, it's like, do you mean this? I could play this. Do you like this? Do you like this song? I could play this one. Yeah, it just wants to play this song. Oh, Pretzel. Hold on. Pretzel crashed. Now it's logging me back in. This has been a comedy of error today. Totally break everything. I guess Pretzel was using the GPU too, huh? So bad. Where my Twitch chat at? There we are. No Joel, skip music track. Thanks. Problem with that is you won't be able to test with the more used drivers then. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. That's a good point. Rhiannon, someday you'll be able to tell other people's grandkids that you were there when the compute shader renderer rendered its first pixels. Yeah, you'll be like, I was there when the bit rate fell. All right, the music, the Pretzel Rocks is just dead. Pretzel Rocks is not playing music anymore. Come on, Pretzel. Okay, there we are. Are we back? Will you play music for me? Nope. Yep. Will you go to the next song? It will, but I don't want to play this. That's too long a song. All right, this sounds all right. This sounds like a good outro song. All right, well, sorry for that kind of weird shamble that is the last bit of the stream here as we just break everything. Time to do some research about GPU throughput capabilities. That's bad. This is a 4080 Super. This is like a pretty beefy GPU. If I'm running into some kind of memory limit, that's nuts. We'll figure it out, though. Figure it out. I feel like I have a lot more GPU shaders in me that need to be written to really maximize our gains here. Economy is so bad and RAM price is so high it becomes profitable to sell compute from your personal GPU. That would be funny. That would be funny. All right. I think we're going to wrap it up here. I got about a little less than 10 minutes to go get a snack before my meeting. And anything I do apparently is going to absolutely wreck our encoding, so I'm going to work on that tonight, and we'll see. We'll come back tomorrow, and we'll be very careful. But yeah, I want to thank everyone for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow.
Maximum warp.
Thanks, No Joel. Maximum warp. Make it so. I'll be right back tomorrow. Until next time. I started the stream by transitioning the wrong scene, and damned if I won't end it the same. Bye.